Hey, XR student here. I love moths, so why not be covered in them? I got this idea based off of a painting I did a while ago on this channel where I had this girl and her face was completely covered by moths. It was attracted to her eyes and she was some kind of goddess with control of moths. And I kind of wanted to recreate that myself. This is where I decided to draw a ton of different moths that I found online. I'm sure some of them might be butterflies, but I tried my best to find a bunch of moths and I wanted to cover glasses in them so it looked like that same effect where moths were all over my eyes. And this is the layout I was thinking for the whole costume. Something simple, black dress, moths everywhere. I thought this one sheet of paper of moths would cover everything that I needed. Later in the video you'll find out I needed way more moths, but it was a good start. I made so many moths in this video. It took a lot of energy and time and effort. I think my favorite part is adding those tiny details. When you add those markings that each moth species has, it really comes to life. And then you're like, wow, this project is actually looking like something. I bought a laminator just for this project. When everything was cut out, I laid everything flat on this clear laminating sheet, and it was so easy to use. I love this thing. I wish I had it when I was a teacher. Once each moth was protected in a laminated layer, I was able to cut them out to shape. I wanted them to be laminated so then I wouldn't get any wrinkles in the paper and I could easily glue them onto the glasses without worrying about it getting ruined. I wanted to create the illusion that the moths were all over my eyes, so I decided to use this vinyl sticker to shade my eyes from one end and then be able to see through it from the other. I was really hoping that the mirrored effect would make the moths look like there was more than one there and add to, I guess, the craziness or the illusion. I think it turned out pretty well. And when I had the mirror stickers set, I was able to add the moths, framing the glasses, and really get the shapes that I wanted. Here I thought I was finished and this was a perfect project. Eventually I realized it wasn't enough. I needed way more moths, and I also wanted to be covered in them. So I set out on researching a ton of moths, coloring, laminating, cutting, so then I could create a neck piece, arm pieces, and a body piece, as well as add to my glasses. I was looking high and low on Google, typing in colorful moths, green moths, pink moths, whatever I could come up with, so then it wouldn't just be a brown-orange color scheme that I currently had going on with my glasses. I just wanted to find unique moths and have your eye drawn to it, make it so it had good contrast and it wasn't so plain. It's so crazy that these bugs exist in the world. Like, who would have thought all of these crazy colors could be in nature? And why are they in nature? I'm sure there's a reason, or wherever they live, it makes sense. I just love doing this. It was a really cool way to get to know moths and add to this piece. Also, right here, I do not like what I did. I should have cut out each moth individually and then laminated. Because I did the big piece, each moth wasn't individually fully protected. Some of the sides would come up a little bit. If I cut them out individually first and then put the lamination around it, it would have created a tighter seal. I was trying to take the easier route because I was running out of time. I then used this elastic strip for the moths around my body. I was going to first sew each end or put Velcro at the end, I was feeling weird about it, so eventually I settled on using a button and cutting a strip at the other end of it. It made it easy for taking it on and off, it was stretchy just in case I wore layers, and it was durable. Now it's time for the fun part, adding the moths everywhere. I loved picking out the different colors and arranging them, and just playing around with the different positioning. It was great seeing this piece come together and adding way more volume and a unique shape to the glasses. I moved on to the arm pieces. I was worried about this because it was on stretchy fabric with just hot glue. Who knows if it would conform to my arm or if it would pop off because it's not a flat surface. They held up pretty nice. Now I went to the chest piece. Here's where a majority of the moths went, and I had so much fun adding each tiny moth. It was cool to choose different shapes, colors, rearrange everything, and just get most of the chest covered with the moths. It was really nice to see all of the detail work paying off and how pretty it all looked together. My original idea was to have floating hair and moths at the end, so I decided to cut off a little bit of my wig and wrap it around a wire. Didn't know if this was a good idea or if it would work, and honestly I struggled with this. I started by putting some hot glue at the end, trying to twist it, add more hot glue. It just became a straggly mess. And I was like, oh, I'll just cover it with more hair, it'll work out. Look how flexible it is, I'll use hairspray. None of it worked. It all looked really bad, and I wound up scrapping this piece. It could have been really cool, and maybe eventually I'll figure out how to do it. But for now, my piece is finished. Let's take a look at those close-up shots. And that's the end. What'd you think of my moth costume? If you'd like, check out my Etsy. I have a sale going on for the month of October because it's spooky season. Check out the things I post on here. And if you'd like, check me out elsewhere. Comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys. Bye.